Hi, I'm Fran. I'm a fine wine advisor at Lane Wheeler, and we've been supplying wine at Christmas for 170 years. So I'm here to chat to wine writer Guy Woodward about the festive wines of Christmases gone by. And I think we're going to start by taking a trip back to the 70s.
Yeah, we got up to about the 30s, 40s last time, and things got a bit complicated then with the Second World War, so we're taking a bit of a step forward.
I feel like that was an era of some big pop Christmas number ones like Wham! And
Very much my era, I hasten to add.
Well, they haven't gone out of fashion. We're still listening to all the same Christmas number ones that we were back then, but I feel like the wines have changed quite a lot.
I think, yeah, I mean, you're right, there's a nostalgia for those 80s tracks, and I'm sure many people think they're pretty old-fashioned as well, but they're still popular. You're right, the wines have probably, become a bit more nuanced, shall we say. Mm-hmm. And we've got a lovely dry Riesling in our hands here from Eagle Freaker. Back in the 70s, it would have been more off-dry and a lot of sweeter leaf-round milk and what have you, the Black Towers, the Blue Nuns, and it all just conjures up this sort of retro feel, doesn't it? I can still see in my mind my mother coming into the dining room with this trolley, which was only used once a year, with a range of desserts on it, probably a Viennetta or some sort of trifle that was horrendously sweet, but obviously, God bless her, we all loved it, and I think the wines went hand in hand with that.
Yes, yeah, very sweet desserts and lots of sweeter wines as well.
Yeah, for sure, and as I say, I guess I don't know if it was a taste thing or whether just maybe as the country was getting more into wines, the sweetness perhaps helps a little bit. Mm-hmm. Because as you say, today, sweeter Riesling is much less popular. Sadly, there's some fantastic ones around, but dry seems to be the way of things. But it was, you picture, I mentioned Blue Nun, Black Tower, Mateus Rosé even, things like that. Piat d'Or was a big brand, wasn't it? That was a drier wine, but it was that era of big hair, big pop, big sweet wines, and that sort of thing. Everything was quite obvious.
Yes.
And I think it's the same in the glass. But we were a young wine nation at that time. I'm sure the aristocrats of St James's or what have you were drinking their Grand Cru Burgundy and their class both Bordeaux, and certainly there would have been plenty of that, I'm sure, on the Lane Wheeler list, but I think for most households it was some of the more obvious wines, should we say.
Yes, there were definitely a few of those brands lurking around in my parents' drink cabinet, I remember for sure. Right. Yeah.
Doubtless with some sherries and ports still as well. I mean, we were talking earlier with Rosie about how sherry and port was the mainstay of most wine lists back when Lane Wheeler was founded in the 1850s, and we still see those on Christmas lists, and still today even. I think that's that tradition, nostalgia that sadly for some people those fortified wines only come out once a year, more to pity, but certainly they would have been still a big part of Christmases in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah, my grandfather always started Christmas Day with a glass of sherry. That was...
Fino, a Manzanilla, or was he not fussy?
I don't think he was that fussy, to be honest. No, it was just a dry sherry and that was all he wanted. Yeah. So we've had a little bit of a trip down memory lane to Christmases of the 70s and 80s. In the next episode, we're going to be jumping forward to present times and having a think about what people might be having on their festive tables this Christmas.